This is my first full camp in Dubai. I've actually, I've wanted to train out here more consistently for a long time. It's the perfect environment. The gyms are amazing, the nutrition, the food, the sun. As long as you don't get distracted with all the distractions of Dubai, I think it's an amazing place to kind of focus and hone your skills in the fight world. No.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Work to roll. Work to roll.
Fight lovers, hold on to your seats inside Chris Eubank Jr.'s camp. Things are more juicy than a Kardashian feud and hotter than a TikTok scandal. With Eubank Sr. in charge like a crazy genius, this is a full-fledged boxing apocalypse. Forget quiet sparring sessions and Instagram-worthy flexes. Like he's trying out for a part in some martial arts action movie we didn't even know we wanted. He's yelling commands and correcting every jab and footstep. Chris Jr., he's practicing like he's attempting to punch his way into legend itself, pushing his body to the limit, sweat flowing, and muscles screaming. The sun is beaming in Dubai, but the gym is nuclear hot. Killer combos, 12-round sprints, and painful exercises that would make Rocky cry in the corner. And this whole thing, in advance of the Conor Benn rematch, which is already igniting the boxing world, the second battle promises to be a cataclysm, while the first was a war. This camp is full with epic father-son tension, weight issues, dehydration, and fines. Social media blows up like a boxing-themed Super Bowl halftime extravaganza after just one leak and one footage. This goes beyond training. This explosive countdown to the fight that everyone can't stop talking about combines turmoil, legacy, and scandal. The atmosphere at Chris Eubank Jr.'s camp is explosive, full of raw passion and anxiety. Ignore everything you've seen on Instagram stories about the gym. Eubank Sr. is conducting every punch, jab, and uppercut like a conductor possessed in this full-fledged war room. With his muscles screaming and perspiration flying, Chris Jr. is moving like a machine on fire, pushing past what mere mortals could only imagine. Every combination is deadlier, sharper, and quicker. Even though Dubai is sunny, the heat in this camp makes it appear as though a volcano has erupted beneath a boxing ring. Here, Eubank Sr. is more than just a father. He is a strategist, a taskmaster, and a mad scientist who combines traditional grit with contemporary accuracy. He reminds everyone that this is not casual training, but rather the creation of a legacy by yelling, correcting, and demanding perfection. Chris Jr. takes it all in and strikes like he's attempting to change the course of history. Every round, every step, every drop of sweat is tinged with the memories of that first violent confrontation with Conor Benn. The boxing community is aware that this is payback time.
Drained, they put a rehydration clause in. They fined him some £500,000 for coming in, 2 ounces over the weight. It was reported to me by Lawrence Lustig, who is a very famous photographer. Junior wasn't even sweating at the end of the fight. Dehydration. These rules are in place to save my son, to save the lives of fighters. Unfortunately, the reporters, the journalists are not doing their job. They're not holding them to account. Gareth Davis, do your job. Simon Jordan, you speak on boxing, do your job. You are not credible if you let these things happen. What you are is a jester. As I said after the fight, Conor Benn is an extraordinary fighter. Fighting at 156 or fighting a fighter at 160, he doesn't get back down to 147. And if he does, he's not the fighter he could have been. They are dangerous, they are reckless. If the Boxing Board of Control don't do what they're supposed to do, which is to block fights from happening which do not abide by the weights and the rules, you are baboons. I'm not a baboon, and I know this life. I've gone up to cruiserweight, fighting Carl Thompson. Watch that fight. Both of them, where you're watching one man who is almost twice the size of me. So it seems. I say this sparingly, seemingly killing me. And it looks like a fight because the smaller guy, me, has heart, and nothing is going to stop me. No threat. Nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to put a picture up of my eye. It looked like my eye was pregnant, giving birth. That's these promoters pulling me into a fight that I need for the money. So I say, no, I'll do it. But the Boxing Board of Control is not supposed to allow that to happen. So now when I speak on it for my own son, people say, oh, well, you know, he's overreacting. I'm not.
The first battle was a war. Disguised as a match, fans were on the edge of their seats after 12 rounds of non-stop fighting, and Conor Benn emerged from the ring with his first professional defeat. Looking at Chris Jr. like a guy who had just survived a hurricane. The stats are clear. Out of 912 punches, 367 were delivered. Each one was a tribute to heart, strength, and accuracy. Benn demonstrated perseverance by landing 215 out of 593, but the result was unavoidable. This camp has become a furnace of sweat, planning, and devotion due to the pressure to duplicate and better Chris Jr.'s victory, which he not only won but dominated. Dramas with weight and dehydration have fueled this flames. Before the first battle, Chris Jr. lost half an ounce of weight, a small amount, with significant repercussions. He was hospitalized for safety and was fined around £375,000. But the incident caused controversy, indignation, and social media panic. Eubank Sr. gets enraged in public. He says his son was treated like a puppet by promoters who put show before health. This is a veteran's warning, not paranoia. Anyone who believes Chris Jr. is simply another fighter will soon discover that no one is playing around with Eubank. SR training in Dubai has become a master lesson in seclusion and concentration. The sun shines like it's illuminating a future legend, the gyms are cutting edge, and the nourishment is top-notch. However, there are distractions everywhere in this glitzy city. Chris Jr. pushes through lengthy rounds, taxing workouts, and unrelenting sparring while blocking them all. Strength, endurance, and strategy under fatigue are all tested throughout 4-minute rounds with 30-second rests. This is a war game, not training, with the goal of becoming a fighter who can eliminate any opponent who dares to enter the ring. The father of Eubank Jr. is not happy to watch from the sidelines. Every pivot, slip, and jab is examined, fixed, and magnified. Chris Jr.'s training is being shaped by Eubank Sr.'s renowned discipline and mental toughness, which combine legacy, retaliation, and unadulterated intensity in every session. Insiders describe this as the most difficult camp Chris Jr. has ever had, which is not surprising. A fighter's body and psyche are being imprinted with every sweat drop, scream, and excruciating repetition. Failure is not an option, and the stakes are very high. The drama from the initial battle is still simmering. Eubank Jr.'s relentless combinations and tactical skills slowed down Conor Benn, who is typically a self-assured and aggressive fighter. However, Benn had flashes of genius and demonstrated resiliency and spirit that won him the respect of the boxing fraternity. Social media erupted in mayhem as fans and pundits fought. Although Chris Jr. won, there was cause for concern due to the weight loss and dehydration. Eubank Sr. refers to the promoter's claims of safety as carelessness. This rematch is expected to be even more explosive as the conflict between spectacle and fighter welfare intensifies. With serious aim, veteran coach Brian Bulick McIntyre has returned to the camp. He led Terrence Crawford to unchallenged prominence, and now applies that knowledge to Chris Jr.'s team. Eubank Sr.'s unwavering dedication and McIntyre's tactical brilliance have combined to create an atmosphere that verges on obsession. Every movement is adjusted, every session is examined, and every weakness is taken advantage of and transformed into a strength. This is a machine built to maximize a fighter's peak while testing the limitations of the human body and mind. It is not merely a preparation. A dimension of psychological warfare is added by the father-son dynamic. Chris Sr. strikes a balance between caution, pride, and an unbridled desire to shield his son from the dangers of the boxing industry. His presence serves as a continual reminder that battles are about more than simply punches, they're about honor, legacy, and survival. Every look, every cry, every correction bears the weight of generations. The first match at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is still vivid in our memories. It was a vicious, relentless show that required respect. The stakes are significantly higher now. With each jab hook and deliberate step in this Dubai gym, history is being written. The fight community, meanwhile, anxiously observes. This matchup has already been a scandal waiting to blow up due to weight concerns, rehydration requirements, fines, and injuries. Eubank Sr. regularly criticizes journalists, authorities, and promoters for not doing enough to safeguard boxers. He is a disdained man, a furious father, and a legendary boxer who is desperate to stop history from happening again at his son's price. Fans are divided, memes are flying, and social media is humming. But one thing is certain: Chris Jr. is under more pressure than ever, and the world is going to see the results of this grueling training. The actual training is relentless. A combination of fatigue and concentration is produced via Xbox drills, 4-minute rounds, sprint intervals, endurance workouts, and tactical repeats. Chris Jr.'s mind is honed for the pandemonium of the ring, and his body is being pushed to the limit. Every move is deliberate, every hit is planned, and every second is intended to mimic combat circumstances. This is not a lighthearted rematch, but training for war. He is reminded of the hard-won win in the first fight, and the unresolved issues that remain at the end of each session. On the internet, fans are already buzzing. Every video clip that is leaked goes viral like wildfire. A story of obsession, scandal, and spectacle has been generated by the father-son pair. The fabled discipline, the intense Dubai sun, and the taxing workouts. Legends of the sport like Pacquiao and De La Hoya are being compared. But insiders claim that this camp is changing the terms of engagement. This goes beyond training. The world is enthralled with this spectacle, psychological struggle, masterclass in boxing passion. There is more to the rematch than just a fight. It is a declaration, an examination, and a challenge to history itself. Chris Jr. is ready thanks to his father's knowledge, the advice of top trainers, and the fire created during months of intense training. But Conor Benn will be stronger, smarter, and hungrier. A moment that promises to be explosive, unforgettable, and scandalously viral is being built upon with each jab, combination, sprint, and correction. The boxing community is holding their breath as the battle draws near. The online excitement surrounding Chris Eubank Jr.'s camp is blowing up like a viral tweet. Fans are analyzing every jab, sweat drop, every yell from Eubank Sr. rather than just watching. The fight world has never seen anything like this. Videos of Chris Jr. moving like a man possessed have been shared thousands of times, and each one has sparked a deluge of memes comparing his combos to Thanos snapping half the Marvel Universe out of existence, and Michael Jordan dunking on gravity. Itself, reactions from celebrities are flooding in. Social media threads are ablaze with conjecture as athletes, rappers, and influencers weigh in on the father-son training story. Some are hailing it as the greatest comeback story, while others are cautioning Ben to run for his life. Will Chris Jr. ultimately put an end to this rematch with a masterful knockout performance? In a viral frenzy, will Eubank Sr.'s traditional techniques ultimately collide with contemporary combat science? Fans are addicted to the pandemonium, yet they are unable to make a decision. Memes have become independent. In one popular video, Chris Jr. is seen dodging blows so quickly that the title reads, "Blink and you miss a 367-punch highlight reel." In another, Eubank Sr.'s yelling commands are exaggerated, and he is compared to a drill sergeant from an action movie who can see into the future. Every sprint, pad session, and gym photo becomes content for the internet and spreads more quickly than the newest celebrity feud. Every little element, like how he trains in Dubai, the sun's rays, the opulent gyms, and the accuracy of his footwork, is causing people to become fixated. According to insider reports, these sessions are extremely intense. Tactical endurance drills, Xbox workouts, and 4-minute rounds with 30-second rests are developing fighters who can perform at their best. Chris Jr. has never experienced anything like this camp, according to trainers. He is developing mental toughness in addition to physical conditioning. This is a prelude to anarchy. This is a tactic used in combat. Ordinary fighters cry in the corners when faced with this kind of grind. In the meantime, conjecture is still fueled by the weight drama. The world is now scrutinizing every scale reading after Chris Jr. initially missed weight by a fraction in the first fight, causing controversy and sanctions. While observers argue whether Benn's natural welterweight physique will give him an advantage, social media gurus have performed calculations and created memes comparing Chris Jr.'s 0.2-pound overage to the size of an ant. There is division in the boxing community. While some believe Eubank Jr. will be unbeatable, others think Benn's tenacity could pull off an unexpected upset. Before the first bell even sounds, comments, GIFs, and hot takes are flooding online polls, making this bout a digital spectacle. Drama is further enhanced by the tension between the father and son. Chris Sr. has gone public, accusing promoters of abusing the rules, criticizing them for putting profits ahead of his son's health, and alerting everyone to the fact that this fight is being handled more like a circus than a sport. It's being devoured by fans. Commentators are hyping the emotional intensity of this camp with tweets like Chris Jr. is Rocky Balboa with Wi-Fi and Eubank Sr. is the boxing world's Simon Cowell, but with fists. This is more than simply a quarrel. It's a family dispute, a legacy conflict, and a media tempest all combined. Innovative training techniques that replicate fight day. Tension are highlighted in reports from the camp. Sessions are described by trainers as akin to surviving an apocalypse with only your fists as tools. Chris Jr. is pushed through relentless combinations, slipping, pivoting, and sprinting until his body screams enough. Social media has taken notice of this, with hashtags like #EubankMadness trending globally. Fans highlight how this rematch is already being marketed as a historic contest by posting reaction videos, slow-motion replays, and side-by-side comparisons with classic fights like Pacquiao versus Dillashaw. There are other things going viral besides memes. Celebrity commentary has gotten ridiculous. Rappers make jokes about wagering their chain collections on the result. Fans are putting thousands of comments on YouTubers' dramatic countdowns, guessing about the knockout round, the overall number of punches delivered, and if Chris Jr.'s stamina will hold up in the last rounds. Some make fun of Benn, saying he's trying to play Mortal Kombat on hard mode against a real-life cheat code, while others equate Eubank Jr.'s accuracy to an AI combat program. Fan theories have even gotten ridiculous. According to a well-known thread, Chris Jr. is exercising in Dubai while surreptitiously utilizing a desert heat advantage, which gives him lung capacity comparable to that of an Olympian. According to another, Eubank Sr. is now mentoring his son like a human supercomputer since he has committed every Benn fight tape to memory. The audience loves it because it feels like a secret has just been revealed, even though the exaggerations and hyperbole are absurd. This camp is becoming a live reality show sans cameras thanks to social media. Boxing analysts are still debating tactics. Will Benn manage to weather the storm? Or will Chris Jr. rule like he did in the first fight? The excitement is increased by comparisons to legendary fights. Tyson Holyfield is mentioned by some, while De La Hoya Pacquiao is mentioned by others. Although fans feel that Chris Jr. is the free-runner due to his size, speed, and experience, there is clearly excitement about what Benn could accomplish. The conflict between anticipated results and potential surprises maintains a high level of interest. Every press release, little quotation, and camp update is examined, evaluated, and disseminated. The public is becoming aware of the camp's ferocity. People are talking about Chris Jr.'s decision to train in Dubai. He's secretly in a boxing monastery for Instagram, according to some, while others think his seclusion is brilliant. Sunlight, nutrition, and the quality of his gym become topics of discussion, memes, and absurd conjecture. The drama is already setting records for shares, likes, and trending discussions before the fight even starts. Chris Jr.'s commitment and attention turn into a public spectacle that is amplified by online culture, resulting in a vicious cycle of obsession and excitement. The presence of Eubank Sr. has rekindled discussions regarding modern versus traditional training philosophies. Some fans contend that discipline, constant repetition, and traditional screaming are out of date. Some maintain that it's precisely what Chris Jr needs to rule. Every drill, sprint, and pad session is made into a conversation starter. His footwork is analyzed by podcasts. His punch combos are rated by analysts. And YouTube commentators conjecture about his advantages in endurance and mental toughness. The hype machine is going crazy. Naturally, public indignation adds its own flair. Fans argue over potential exploitation, fines, win, regulations, and promoter fairness. Comments such as boxing promoters are the new villains. And Chris Sr. is the only sane person in the sport flood social media threads. Influencers compare celebrity controversies. From Netflix docuseries cliffhangers, to Kanye rants, to Eubank Jr.'s arduous camp. Every viewpoint, screenshot, popular post contributes to the rematch's viral storm. Pop culture illusions even go to ridiculous lengths. Chris Jr. is the Marvel superhero that everyone needs but no one asked for, according to fan jokes. Eubank Sr. is a tactical genius who is reshaping reality, akin to Thanos with a clipboard. Chris Jr. is shown in memes dodging blows in slow motion, much like Neo from The Matrix. The idea that this camp is a full-fledged extravaganza of legendary proportions rather than merely preparation is strengthened by every exaggeration. Joke in comparison. Training intensity is still the subject of rumors, leaks, and internet debate. Fans speculate about new tactics, talk about recovery procedures, and post purported sparring session statistics. Every round is dissected, every combination examined, and every drop of perspiration turns into proof of hard work and drama. This is a viral story based on obsession, spectacle, and unrelenting investigation, not just hype. A training camp has become an epic tale thanks to social media. The rematch's build-up is unrelenting. Internet trolls, fans, celebrities, and analysts have all taken sides. Ben is the tenacious underdog, Chris Jr. is the disciplined powerhouse, and Eubank Sr. is the brain behind the scenes. Every update provokes discussions, disagreements, speculations, and memes. Even though the bout hasn't taken place yet, the narrative has already garnered international attention, transforming a boxing camp into a digital event on par with any pop culture phenomena. The boxing world is being rocked by the fallout from Chris Eubank Jr.'s training camp. Fans are enthralled with the guy behind the machine and aren't only discussing the rematch. Chris Jr., a living example of the traditional tenacity and contemporary accuracy his father required, leaves Dubai sharper, quicker, and more concentrated. The fight world is paying attention to every jab, feint, and pivot that carries the burden of legacy. Discussions on how far he can push Conor Benn, whether there will be pyrotechnics at the conclusion of the rematch, and whether this is the pivotal point in his career are raging on social media. Chris Sr.'s cautions regarding fighter safety and promoters have been a hot topic of conversation. Analysts debate fairness, ethics, and if Chris Jr. had an unfair advantage because to the weight drama in the previous fight. Memes, ridiculing, avaricious promoters have gone viral. Fans have taken sides and hashtags like #EubankJustice are trending globally. Once a minor subplot, the father-son relationship now makes headlines. The boxing community is enthralled with the strength of their relationship, the intense mentoring, and the unwavering fixation with perfection. Chris Jr.'s success is inextricably linked to his father's instruction. There is a risk to reputations. Chris Jr. is now more than simply a talented fighter. He represents unwavering discipline, mental tenacity, and the repercussions of taking chances in a sport where one mistake may have disastrous results. Journalists, critics, and promoters are rushing to keep up with the rate of success and controversy. Memes, hot takes, and highlight reels abound on social media. As fans argue about whether Chris Jr.'s success is the result of skill, perseverance, or a combination of Eubank Sr.'s traditional training methods and Dubai's advanced training.